Hello, and welcome to TV Chef Fantasy League. I'm your host and commissioner, Sierra Cato, here with my co-host, Mike Cabalon, and Ify Wadiwe, all here in the studio.
Mere seconds before we started recording, you went, I should put my phone into do
Oh,
not
yeah,
disturb."
yeah.
And as you're doing that intro, that's what I was doing.
Hey!
Yeah, what is
Because we're
all
professionals.
locked in?
Gotta say, for those watching on YouTube, for the full unedited episodes, we got a new edition of these little cubes on the end of
Every week, there's a new
the
thing in the
mics.
studio.
Yeah.
Maximum Fun branded coasters.
Are these branded?
Well, look,
Yeah,
it's
that's
the same
color.
color
Yeah,
scheme
official colors.
as the Blast Off.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Okay. I didn't even notice that.
I assume, if you know the Maximum Fun Rocket logo, it's
Yeah.
got, fire.
And if
which
you
I
don't
call
know
the
the
Blast
logo,
Off.
it's this logo right here.
Whoa!
Bam.
Which you can see if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening, Mike just kind of showed the box, the bottom of the box, which is the rocket with the flame at the end, with the kind of like blue, baby blue, powder
Ooh.
blue on blue rocket
Mhm,
and the tealness, and it all comes together. in
Heck
the
yeah, good
image,
color
yeah.
scheme happening.
Yeah.
Speaking of color scheme, we had a Potter Pan write in.
Oh,
that
that's
doesn't
not a
really
transition, at all.
but
Did they write in about colors?
maybe because they wrote in about being from Orlando, which is from the Orange State of Florida.
Wait, what do you mean by?
well,
just
Florida
like they grow
has
oranges?
Yeah.
Well, we have oranges.
But
Yeah.
their state, I think their state fruit is
yeah.
orange.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they have
it's like on their
oranges
license
on their-
plate.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. So yes, it is to do with the color scheme.
Okay, nice.
Brought it back. Potter Pan Laura wrote in saying, I'm from Orlando. Our food scene rules, but nobody believes me because they assume we all eat Chili's and theme park food. I did think of Disney World,
Yeah, okay.
so,
Yeah.
but
That was
apparently
good.
it rules. Have you guys been to Orlando and eat any food there?
I have not.
Yes,
Why
because I've been to
not?
Disney World. Okay, here's what I think. I think that Florida is too hard to do as a state overall because if you just pick Miami, I'm like, excellent food because of all the Cuban influence.
Yeah.
And all the coastal stuff, you get fucking like stone crabs, amazing food.
Whoa.
And then you include, like Panhandle, Florida, and even then Panhandle, Florida, you start to get into like Southern cuisine,
Yeah.
a little bit more inflected with like Alabama and stuff,
Sure.
Georgia stuff, So I feel like just as a state, it's too big to say, here's what Florida food looks like. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I do think that Orlando is
All
probably
over.
by and large. I think that Orlando is probably split, if I had to guess, between like theme park food, yes,
Yum.
but also like I grew up in Las Vegas, like the Las Vegas flavor of fine dining, which is just like, look, people come to Orlando to spend a bunch of money, and the parents want a night out. So here's a nice
Cute.
steakhouse. You get a big fucking lobster, and it's like it's not really specific cuisine. It's
Well-
just like nice, capital N nice.
Sure,
You know what I
I
mean?
feel like Vegas specifically, their cuisine is just like all the popular restaurants elsewhere are here.
Yes.
Like Carbone.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly what it is.
Yeah, the Major Domo, or not Major Domo, it's his other
Oh,
restaurant.
David
Yeah,
Chang's got
yeah.
a couple in there. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
but-
right. Momofuku.
Momofuku,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking of instead of Major Domo. Yeah.
Momofuku is opening a new restaurant at Century City here in LA, and
Oh.
every time I go to that mall, I'm like, I can't
Oh,
wait
yeah.
for this bitch. to
I have
open up.
seen
Yeah.
the front for that.
Yeah.
Very
I think I
excited.
flipped it. I think the restaurant is Major Domo, and the
The
group is-
restaurant group is Momofuku.
The,
Yeah.
the restaurant group's Momofuku. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. So then, wait, but
So
then
there is a Major Domo.
oh, it is me. Okay,
Yeah.
we love that. But basically,
Oh,
just
right.
to
Sorry.
finish
What did
Laura's
Potter Pan
thought-
Lauren
Oh
say?
yeah, just
Yeah.
finish Lauren's thought. Sorry. Says I'm not going to advocate for Top Chef to come here. However, I'm surprised they've never done Atlanta. 'Cause I guess we were reading
That is
through.
true.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Get over to Atlanta,
Yeah,
Top
that
Chef.
would be
Yeah,
solid.
because I did notice they have done South Carolina before, technically, by doing Charleston.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And now they're doing Carolinas collectively, so that'll be different.
Mhm.
But they are hitting some places twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
or maybe
you know.
they do, Atlanta, New Orleans, Dirty South,
That,
Top
you,
Chef.
Yeah, you brought this up last week. I do think like a South would
Like-
be amazing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then,
that would be
you
cool.
get, Atlanta and NOLA are both known for the Dirty South. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, it could be Top Chef, Dirty
Oh
South.
yeah, we need
Guest
a branding.
Judge Juvenile.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Come on, baby. How you doing?
They
Back
have to
that
get a
pan
guest
up.
host for the season because otherwise it's just kind of wildly offensive.
Yeah.
Chris and
Sure,
Kish
sure.
can't be up there like, hey, baby.
I feel like Christian Kish and Juvenile. I'd like to see that.
Oh yeah. We could see it happen.
What's up, baby?
Perfect. So we figured it out for them. That's the following season.
Great.
Thank you, Lauren. And also number 2 thing, Lauren wrote in about the entire time I was listening to those Australians do terrible American accents. I was thinking Iffy doing an Australian accent would fit in with this crowd.
Oh my God, how have we never done this?
You were throwing out.
I don't
want
to put you on the spot,
Yeah.
but if you
but good day, just down under. I was hanging with Good Games Morley, who have come from Australia, and they was telling me about going to Perth.
Perth. Oh, yeah.
Perth. And I know Auntie Donna,
Perth.
It's not the worst accent I've ever
No,
heard
it's
from
definitely
you.
it's hitting it closer than Boston.
Yeah.
Which is
Boston.
Boston's the low watermark.
Which is
Boston.
Luckily, there's lots of room to improve upon Boston, as we know here on the pod.
This is going to be next year's Max Fun Drive. Is if we pass a certain amount of subscribers. Yeah. You get a whole Australian Iffy episode.
Yeah, will be great. And the other one was a hit with most.
Yeah.
So, so clearly we know what we're doing. But love it. Thank you for writing in, Lauren. As always,
Thank
we
you,
always want
Lauren.
to hear from our pots and pans. But some food news. So it was my birthday this weekend.
Happy belated birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Got some wonderful wishes, texts from the pod group. So love it. Thank you. For my birthday, we went to the 88 Club, which is
Maylin's restaurant.
New restaurant.
It's been on my list. How is it?
It was really good.
Okay.
It's very cool. Like, I don't want to. Well, how much do you want? No spoilers. Then if you're gonna go, not that I can.
I feel like spoilers are a little less
chill.
important for restaurants.
Okay.
I'm like, I for a place like like an Alinea or an El Bulli, it would be like, don't tell me anything because I do want to be delighted when they bring out like some liquid and tell me that it's.
Oh, sure.
a
I won't get
peach or
that
whatever.
into the deets.
Yeah. But I am curious just what the overall experience is like.
Overall experience, really wonderful. So it's in like Beverly Hills, which is kind of funny.
Okay.
So I feel like it goes like old school, nice restaurant. You're coming in,
Sure.
the curtains are drawn.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
the outside, it's very nondescript. So it feels kind of speakeasy-ish. But
okay.
I would say it leans more towards trying to be like an old club.
Okay.
But, the flip is like everyone, like a lot of the servers and the hostess, Asian women in like blazers with little 88 pins, and then all the dishware has 88 branded. So it kind of is, I think she's mimicking like when you would go to be a member of a club and you go and eat dinner at the club and smoke cigars with your gentleman friends.
Love
like
that.
I don't I assume
Hell
that's
yeah.
what's going on in those
Yeah.
clubs. So I feel like that's why it's called the 88 Club. It's branded that way. It's got dark green curtains. You're sitting in booths. It's very like, it feels like nighttime all the time.
Okay.
And the food was delicious and very Malin, a little leans more Chinese. Like I think she was leaning more into that with this restaurant. All really good. Got some
For those of you who need to catch up,
cocktails.
sorry, Malin,
Oh, yeah.
former Top Chef winner for multiple seasons.
Yeah, definitely came back, I think at least, but definitely won her season.
Yeah.
And then has come back multiple times. She's also been on she's kind of in the circuit,
Yeah,
She's
she
been
does.
on,
She like Tournament of Champions and all that kind of
and,
stuff.
and she had another restaurant here called Nightshade that closed.
Did you eat
mostly
there
before the pandemic? Yes.
Okay, how
also
does it
great.
compare to Nightshade? Because
I
Nightshade
mean-
was like lauded. People lost their
Yeah.
shit over Nightshade.
I would say it's not quite as okay because I do love the sort of modern like Nightshade is very that LA sort of new American. You're
Yeah.
like really so I would say it's not quite like that because it
Okay.
goes more traditional
Okay,
in some ways. Like,
interesting. Okay.
but I don't know if that's just the vibe that I'm saying that, and the food is because the food is very cool and different too, but more leans Chinese and versus maybe Nightshade was more like all over the place with some that were more her
Okay.
take
Interesting.
on Chinese dishes. I might be wrong, but yeah, I would say I don't know if it's like quite the same, but I don't know if that's because of the novelty of Nightshade and I was younger and I wasn't going to such
We
nice
were different
restaurants.
people in 2019.
Now I'm a jaded fuck.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's very who knows. I'll leave that up to everybody who
Hey,
goes.
LA Pots and Pans, right in. I
let
want
us
to
know.
hear
Please
the
let us
reviews.
know. But it was quite a wonderful experience. The dessert was a highlight. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
Okay,
it
I'm
go
really
crazy?
excited. It's on the list.
Yeah. Check it out. Everybody should. But yeah, and then I know any other fun updates before we get into this episode?
Well, yeah, tell us about the Alinea tour.
Oh, I messed up my dates. It's this Friday.
Oh,
We
my
will
God.
get it
Last
next time.
weekend. Yeah,
we will get
sorry.
it next time.
I
Oh,
know.
gave me blue
I
tongue.
forgot.
No,
Hey?
Yeah, no, I'm ready. I was ready. I was hyped. Well,
no,
okay.
no. I wish
Yeah.
I had something to report. This was a relatively boring food week for
That's
me.
dangerous because this Friday I could have made it. Now I can't.
Uh-oh.
Now I
Time
can't
to-
take offense. Now I can't take offense. Because you didn't. I'm gonna see if there's any last chance tickets. I'm sure some idiot's selling it for too much.
Certainly.
Money.
Oh,
certainly.
resale.
I will.
This is my. Have I ever told you guys this? This is my concert strategy for like big sort of arena concerts. Is like the tickets sell out immediately. If fucking Lady Gaga's like, I'm coming to LA, the tickets will sell out immediately.
Yeah.
On the day of, lots of someones are gonna be like, ah, shit, this thing came up. I can't do it, and I'm not trying to like scalp tickets. I just want face value. So if you buy your tickets like a couple hours before when I saw Olivia Rodrigo last year, we literally bought our tickets in the car ride on the way to the stadium.
Oh my God, you had such faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a high risk kind of thing, but it's like you can kind of get pretty good seats for like not cheap, but like a reasonable like market rate if you're willing to just buy your ticket like the day of the show.
Yeah.
Cool.
I still haven't bought my tickets to the Backstreet Boys residency in Las Vegas, and I really want to, but I'm like, I'll just kind of drive in this summer and
on the way to Vegas.
Yeah, someone will be selling.
You'll have a backup plan if it doesn't work out,
It's Vegas.
Vegas.
There's other restaurants there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But okay, wonderful. Now we know the strategy. We'll all see you at Lydia pop-up.
Yeah. Hopefully I'm sitting right across from you.
Yeah.
Staring
eye contact distance.
Perfect. That'll be
you tried to rob me of this.
Next week's content. We got that cut out for us. All right. So this episode, everybody, it was week 10 of Dynamic Duos on MasterChef called The Great Ingredient Bid-Off. Clearly a play on the Great British Bake Off.
Oh my God, I didn't even catch that.
It's really just great and off, and then everything else is different. And there's a the, I guess.
Yeah, bid-off feels like a weird...
Bid-off.
That only works on paper when you read it. If you say it out loud, it feels
I did,
gross.
yeah.
It feels dirty even though it's not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ew, bid-off.
Yeah.
Bid-off. Yeah. Yeah, no matter which way you say it. But very exciting. I think, we knew we were coming into another pressure test. So I will say this is a light episode.
Yes.
Mostly my contestants here doing poorly.
Okay, great.
So got that to look forward to. But okay, as they walk in, we get a little refresher. Last week, of course, was the train. Blue team won, so they're heading up to the balcony safe. Red team stays on the floor, changes into their black aprons, and they're ready for the pressure test. And a lot of them have been there before, right? We're saying Tana and Kate have been there before, and they. I
feel like this is classic sort of like week 10 behavior where it's like, look. You kind of been on, you haven't really been on top that much. You kind of been on the bottom a lot.
Yeah, you're tired.
Yeah.
Your spirit starts to get a little crunched up, especially with them because they had the stress of like cooking those steaks poorly.
Yes.
And then they're coming into this. And I would say, let's see, each week, I mean, last week nobody was eliminated, but each week we've kind of seen the week ones go, like Kayla and Ryan, Kate.
There's no Top Chef level huge upsets where it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this person got eliminated.
You're right. Yeah, it's been pretty clear. So anyway, just to reiterate the challenge, this pressure test, it is each duo has 90 minutes to spend in the ingredient auction. So they're using those 90 minutes as currency. Whatever time they have left at the end of the auction is the time they have to cook. They get their like basic staples like your flour and your sugar or whatever, but they do have to bid on the bigger ingredients. So
a wonderful conceit. I love this challenge. I would love to. It's like, it's fun strategy and it's fun television. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
It's fun to watch people fuck themselves proactively.
Right. You don't feel bad for them that they
that they have 20 minutes left to cook their whole meal.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into that. And also this was the first ingredient auction challenge in MasterChef history. So this was like a new idea, concept.
Bring it back.
Seems like it worked. Yeah.
Put it up there with the tag team challenge and the wall. I want to see this every season.
Pretty good. Yeah. So it worked out. So we'll start with the auction portion. First, they did the protein. So this is right off the bat, it gets off to that sort of rocky start for Timothy and Athena because they spend 45 minutes, half of their time, bidding on the whole side of salmon.
Insane. Okay. I'm of two minds on this. Part of me is like, these are home cooks. Let's not forget, these are not professionals.
Sure.
It would behoove you to be like, that's a thing I know how to cook. I'm going to go for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also like, to a certain degree, on any cooking show, you should kind of be able to be like, well, I'll cook whatever you put in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
There shouldn't be that many curveballs, especially when the biggest curveball is like lamb. It's like, well, you should kind of know how to cook lamb if you're going to go on a cooking show. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They should, I think, like, what I was surprised, so the whole side of salmon, I kind of saw Timothy's point of view where he was like, it's going to take us 12 minutes to cook this salmon. Because at least
but an
it's salmon.
egg takes 30 seconds to cook. I'm like, there are,
sure,
if your thing is time, go for the eggs.
Yeah.
But they probably know.
Yeah.
But yeah, what would they make? Like, okay, I get, so Zach Michelle ended up getting the eggs for free at the end.
Yes.
And then they made pasta, which ended up taking a lot of
strategy.
time anyway. So they were still stressed, but
it
luckily they made
shouldn't
it
take
good.
them a lot of time.
So why was it taking them so long? I've never made pasta from scratch.
They were like, your dough needs to rest.
Sure.
And they were just like taking too long to make the dough.
Yeah.
It is a technical error, but it's not like pasta is the most like you need it's not like mole. It's not like you got to be cooking this all day. It's like you kind of just make the dough and let it sit
or
there.
Or risotto.
Right. Yeah.
We saw. Wait, also like the interesting thing about these types of challenges where some people have more time and less time, I always wonder, it is kind of helpful though, even though you're just standing there, like they do get almost as much thinking time as each other.
Yes, the thinking time I think is huge.
Which for Timothy and Athena ended up probably being bad because it kind of stressed them out too much. So it's like there's a happy balance, right? But almost for Zach and Michelle, it's like you're starting right away. So you actually don't have thinking time, even though you have doing time. But somebody like Tana and Kate or Rachel and Julio, they at least had like a little bit of both.
Yes.
You know?
Okay, I forgot the line. There was a moment, either Tana or Kate, when they were doing that, they were showing them strategizing. You know, they're waiting for their time to start and they're leaning over to each other. And one of them said something like, okay, so do you think I should heat up a pan? And I was like, if that's your level of strategy, if you're like, I got 20 minutes to strategize how I'm going to cook, and your first step is like, do you think the pan should be hot? It's like, oh
my God.
I already know you're not going to win.
Yeah, they were. Oh man, I mean, the decision to go with sweet potatoes. I'm just gonna kind of hop around.
Yeah. There's too much.
Like,
we got to jump around.
It's like well, we'll get into. We know what ingredients everybody ended up with, but they had tubers or whatever. They had the tuber basket, root vegetables. Yeah. And they chose sweet potatoes, which take longer to soften or cook. And do not go with the shepherd's pie they're making for Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
So that was, I don't know if that's overthinking. Yeah.
With what I would have done with that, and I wish is like a remixed shepherd's pie, but you would need different. You would have to you'd have to remix the whole dish, and I think that might be a little out of their capacity.
Yeah.
Because like if you have like a more like neutral beef that kind of has more of a like not necessarily bitter, but you know what I mean, where like the meat isn't
more of a counterbalance to a sweet potato. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
No, but they made dumpling filling and then put like slices of sweet potato on top that were raw, and it was like, this isn't really.
Yeah. Apparently, the flavor was good, but because they got the flavor bomb, which was
even only 2 out of 3. Like I think Tiffany and Joe were both like, the filling's pretty good. It's not shepherd's pie filling, but it's pretty good. And Gordon was like, this belongs in a dumpling. He didn't say it was good. He was just like, this isn't. It's not shepherd's pie filling.
He was thoroughly insulted. He was like, I'm glad my mom's not here. It's very funny.
Yeah.
But yes, I do think he initially said if I had ground lamb, or I think maybe also the root vegetables, he was like, I would make shepherd's pie. Like, that's what they should do. And so they went in the right direction.
Sure.
But they just, did it wrong.
I'm also a little bit mystified why. Okay, look, if you're going to take the core construction of shepherd's pie, then like what they did differently was they used these slices of sweet potato instead of a regular mashed potato on top.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't even a discussion for them, but I was like, where's the discussion where they were like, hey, what should we do differently? Let's make this weird decision. You know what I mean? They kind of just did this thing. Like for half the episode, I was like, do they have potatoes? Maybe they don't even have potatoes. And they're like, we have to do this. But then they were like, no, they didn't. You had potatoes, right? And they're like, yeah, we had potatoes.
We didn't see them making that decision, which makes me think they maybe didn't actively like say that outright, or it was just sort of like, well, obviously we'll do this, or maybe it got
panicked
lost.
Or something.
Panicked.
Something was missing in the edit.
Yeah, and they're moving so fast. Maybe it got it was when they're running around or something. But that was that was something that came up later that I didn't realize would be such a big thing. Because I saw her making those things. I thought they were carrots at first. And I just was like, okay, maybe they're gonna mix it in with the meat. I don't know. But they were just like discs, and then those discs went in the oven, but then they were raw.
Extremely late.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Also just her using the mandolin like rushed. It's like always a recipe for disaster.
Terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah,
if
from
that
above,
were
they
Kayla
like,
and Ryan Kate, you bet your ass there'd be some fingers in that.
Oh,
pie.
no.
Yeah, there's been
yeah.
so many
Slices.
injuries and faintings.
Yeah, slices of fingers in the pie. So I do think that was already definitely, they blowtorched at the end. That also did not bode well.
Yeah.
But
how much time do they have? Sorry, we can go back to the auction.
Because if I remember correctly, like you put it in the oven and it crispifies. The oven crisps.
Yeah.
So like to blowtorch it, I'm like, well, that's already not going to be.
Yeah.
Because
you're not cooking it, you're just kind of burning it.
Yeah. Some parts are burnt, some parts are raw.
Yeah.
From raw to burnt.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, when you're using blowtorch, you're not cooking anything. You're just lighting it on fire.
Just the little wisps. They had 50 minutes total, so they were like the second most.
Pretty significant amount of time.
Yeah, they had a lot of time. Strange.
I think that's the other thing about shepherd's pie is I'm like, that takes a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you kind of just got to bake it for a shit ton of time. You know what I mean? And maybe that was part of it where they're like, well, to make mashed potatoes, let's do like a thin potato. But then they just
it and
I don't know.
Interesting.
Because even if you did like maybe a scalloped situation.
Well, that was sort of what they tried to do. They like tried to take the slices and like turn it into like scales, like scallops, I don't know. Or are you talking about scallop the protein, like the seafood?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just the dessert. Yeah, right.
No, I meant with actual potatoes.
Right,
so
not
what they did.
Not with the sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
It is so funny that
because also, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Because sweet potato and potatoes take different times to cook. So like that's also what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, it is the worst choice.
Yeah.
Bad choice all around. Also, just the image of them like scooping into it. It's like, you're just, okay, here's this layer blocking my way to the lamb.
Yes.
And then what do I eat?
Yeah, they
like
weren't
a cookie?
cohesive. Yeah, it was
chips
weird.
and dip. That would be fun. But yeah.
Honestly, that would have been a better idea.
Yeah. Little chips and dip, shepherd's dip. So
dip.
they
were.
Hold
on, we're on to something
here. You're cooking. See, that's the type of brain they should have had in
That's
there.
right.
Tana and Kate, call me. But
look, if you lose a season, you got to make shepherd's dip for the professional chef.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean but still, I think you got to go with a regular potato and do a potato chip, and
I agree.
Go with that. I think the sweet potato really adds a different element there.
I'm gonna be thinking about shepherd's dip.
We'll make this work.
But the other thing too is they're the Dakota, South Dakota girls, so they came in with the bison. So you kind of think the lamb would be like
think
a gamey, meat.
Bison
we know that.
As the person who cooks on the pod,
please enlighten us.
Yeah.
Bison is so difficult to cook. Like it's like tricky. It's a very tricky meat to cook.
Yeah.
And sure, like you're like, this is what we do, but
it's like they came with this narrative of like, we're from North Dakota.
Right.
We're not going to do seafood, but we can do fucking land animals, right?
Yeah.
And then they get put on the steak station. Everyone's like, your steaks are bad. And they get given lamb and they're like, this lamb sucks. And it's like, what?
Okay. What we learned is only bison.
Only bison.
Only specifically one part of the bison, I guess. So yeah,
and cake. See. They had one episode where they made a really good cake.
That's right. They showed that cake, and that was a beautiful story too. And they're a great story.
Sure.
And Kate, youngest contestant on the show at this time, 20 years old. So
for this season,
hand it to her.
No, we've had younger in the past.
Right. Sorry, just this season.
Yeah, the Mormon lady, right?
Oh yes,
gosh.
Yeah.
She was young. I don't think she was 20 though. I think she was like 23.
I feel like the show, not counting juniors, I think the show has definitely had people in the teenage years.
Okay.
I feel like there have definitely been some like runaway like 18 and 19-year-olds who are like, I just want to cook for a living.
I believe it. Well,
because those are the people where Gordon is always like, I'll pay for your culinary school.
Cute. Right. Yeah, the kid who won, who was running. Dylan on the, Great British Bake Off, different, but he was 19.
Yes.
And then Sumaya was like 18.
Yeah.
But obviously different.
Great British Bake Off, I feel like they have no age restrictions. They're like, we'll take whoever.
Yeah.
You want to send a 13-year-old in here? We don't care.
Make that 13-year-old make pie. Okay. But yeah, talking about the auction, if we want to go back, but we can also just go through these different. Start with some of the ones where they were going well.
Right. Okay.
Probably the best, even though we set up the whole risotto story, was Rachel and Julio because it turned out fine, but like they did take a lot, they got the grains basket. So it was sort of like, okay, between grains and chicken, like we're going to probably make a risotto or a chicken and rice. Somebody from the balcony guessed. And so the risotto was like, uh-oh. Obviously we know about it on Top Chef as being a big one, but MasterChef similar. It's just hard
I feel
to
like
make
it fails less often on MasterChef.
I think they have a lower bar.
Yeah, I
probably
agree.
Where they're like, this is great, but it's like, well, it's a little overcooked, or it's like, well, it could be better, but we'll let you slide because it's hard and And apparently theirs was really good. I'm sure it was. They also had like peppers and tomatoes in there too.
They did a good version of what we were talking about with using your off time to strategize.
Yeah.
Because I remember they were like, okay, Rachel's going to go get stuff from the pantry while Julio starts on the risotto. Like they had a game plan. Like the second the time starts, I go here, you go here. You do this, I do this.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, they had good communication.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Tana and Kate were like, we don't know what to do.
Oh, no. Uh-huh.
And maybe halfway through, we're like, let's try sweet potatoes. But that's not the time to start cooking sweet potatoes. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And the people from the balcony were like, they know what they're doing, Rachel and Julia.
Yeah.
Because they have been strong all this time.
Yes.
They're on your team, Iffy, and they're the only ones who I didn't have. So I was bummed that they were just.
Are all
totally
mine on the
fine.
balcony? All two of mine, right?
Yeah, Yvonne, Tina, and who else do you
the
have?
Southern Brothers.
Southern Brothers on the balcony as well.
So bros.
Mm-hmm.
So bros.
So bros. Yeah. So the risotto was really the only big question mark. What was cool is Joe and Gordon, they gave him the advice to put more broth in so you could really roll and boil it.
Yeah.
Get it cooked fast. Put the cover on, all that stuff.
Which I didn't realize you could do. I thought the whole thing with risotto was you had to stir it constantly. But I guess once it's released enough starch, you can kind of just throw broth in there and boil it.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Me either.
Do you think it would change the texture like slightly? Where it wouldn't
Probably.
be perfect?
Yeah.
I would have to imagine.
Flavors, yeah.
I would have to imagine the more you mix it, the more starch is released and the more texture you get out of it.
Yeah.
Like when, we've talked about, God, what is it called? I was going to say Physical 100. It's the Netflix Korean cooking show that is like Physical 100.
Is it
Culinary Class Wars?
Oh,
Culinary Class Wars.
That's
Thank
one
you.
Everybody loves. Thank you.
One of the guys who, I don't want to spoil it, got really far in the competition. I don't remember who won, but he made it really far in the competition. He was a Korean chef, maybe a Japanese chef who like specialized in Italian, like trained in Italy and stuff. And the way that he made risotto was fucking crazy. Like you got to work out to do it. He like had a big heavy pan and he would move the pan with one arm while his other arm was mixing. And it was like a huge physical endeavor. But I'm like, that is so much like mixing. It's so much agitation that I'm like, surely that risotto has a markedly different texture from whatever they're making in the MasterChef kitchen.
In the air. He's like participating in Physical 100.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he can qualify now.
Like I feel like they're trying to help them make okay risotto.
Yes.
Not terrible risotto.
He's making like I've been studying this for 30 years kind of risotto.
I'm gonna make someone's no-not cry.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Specific like texture, mouthfeel. I feel like for them it's probably just like as long as that thing's like I won't bite into a grain.
Yeah.
We're good.
It can't be crunchy and it can't be mushy. Anything in between is fine.
Perfect. Yeah, and they really nailed it. Joe had said like this is the first time in MasterChef history they got served a pasta that was perfect. That's like Michelle's, and then a risotto that was perfect. I was like, wow,
High
is
praise.
that true?
High praise, Joe.
Is he being dramatic? But
Joe, he's Italian. He lets us know.
He had that line.
yeah.
Wait, I'm skipping ahead. This
yeah.
is Zach and Michelle, where he's like, "This could be served in the best Italian restaurant in Nebraska or something like that." Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Got him.
Sick burn on Minneapolis.
Yeah, I was like, damn, wait, what? Are they from Minneapolis? I didn't even really know why he picked Minneapolis.
Maybe. I think he might have just been picking on the Midwest, which is a
I'm
little liberal coastal elite of him.
Listen, it's a big city. Yeah. I'm sure they have great Italian.
Maybe they are from the Midwest. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to check out the Italian restaurant MLPS.
I'm sure there are some good ones.
Oh, yeah. Bar La Grassa, which I think someone told me is pretty solid.
Okay.
It doesn't really get.
And does it look better or worse than Zach and Michelle's pasta from this episode?
Definitely looks better. Definitely.
I was surprised that they got such high praise on the pasta because it seemed so simple.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at the end, like, because they had said something like, our dish is really just two components, pasta and sauce. And it's like, well, that's it.
Right.
But then they threw the stuff on top.
The Swiss chard.
Yeah. So that helps a little bit. But also that's a little like Swiss chard on pasta. Okay.
I want to be like, whoa. But then I'm like, some pastas have like kale in it. You can have like a bitter green in there. Sure.
True. But it was just like on top. Yeah. So I was like, is more of a garnish? But then, yes, actually, Gordon Ramsay has like a video about his kale meatball pasta that we use a lot.
Now we're
really
talking.
good. Yeah, it's just sort of like meatballs, kale, whatever pasta you want, a lot of cheese.
Hey, here's a deal. I went to IKEA yesterday.
Ooh, okay.
Whoa.
And they've maybe this has always been on the menu. I've just never seen it, but they had a deal in their little restaurant, which for the record rocks.
It's so good.
IKEA food is such a steal.
Amazing.
Anyway, they have a new like tomatoey pasta with some meatballs in it.
Oh, Yes, so
it's $1.99.
Sorry to interrupt.
Jesus.
Please.
I was doing my research over here because there's a lot of Reddit posts and like
you gotta swim through the
TripAdvisor, and I'm
crap.
like, no, I need actual. So Eater
Okay.
did the best restaurants in Minneapolis.
Okay.
And Bar La Grassa, which I mentioned, is run by James Beard Award-winning chef Isaac Becker.
Okay.
Sultry Italian restaurant is usually packed, so make a reservation, especially if you want a kitchen side seat at the pasta bar. Start with the dreamy soft eggs and lobster bruschetta, and then try the red wine spaghetti with pine nuts or mafalda with soulful bolognese. Finish with the gestost cheesecake.
Okay, Italian if he's next.
Made from sweet and savory caramelized Norwegian cheese.
Okay.
This place sounds like it rips.
Well, yeah, I think
Minneapolis Pots and Pans, you got to let us know what's going on over at Bar La
I'm
Grassa.
about to make sure I book a show in Minneapolis.
Yeah, Acme Comedy Club.
Is that a real comedy club in Minneapolis? Have you played Minneapolis?
I have, actually. Well, I haven't, no, I have. A couple of times. They have like quite a great scene there, I would say.
Minneapolis is great.
I mean, it's a big city. It's going to have a great scene. You know?
I have a shirt from Matt's Bar, which allegedly invented the Juicy Lucy.
Ooh, I believe it.
Great culinary little gem.
So take that, Joe, or whatever you were saying.
Joe.
Honestly, I was confused. Like, I mean, I guess I get that it was a letdown and that it was not like in the best Italian restaurant in the world. I mean, in Minneapolis, but still.
It is funny because like Joe's saying that, and I feel like, chefs in general don't watch MasterChef.
Yeah.
But I think if the chef of this restaurant heard Joe say that, I think he would just destroy that poor man.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Excuse me.
He would pull up to Joe's restaurant.
Yeah, be like, where's your James Beard Award, buddy?
Yeah.
We need more chef beefs. We need more TV chef beefs.
Yeah.
Not since Jamie Oliver have we really
inter chef beefs. Because I feel like we get a lot of like chef versus I think of like Keith McNally, who just kind of complains about everyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, this celebrity came into Balthazar and was
I see.
I want chef beef.
Chef on chef beef.
Chef on chef.
I love that.
Yeah, that would be great. I'm sure that's ripe for that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we used to get some criticisms from like, Tony Bourdain says this guy is actually shit, and then now we don't.
I feel like if
rest in peace.
If certain executives at Bravo their career had gone differently, and we still had the version. If you watch early versions of Top Chef, it's like it's closer to a Bravo show. You know what I mean? It's like they're also living together. They're fucking fighting and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And I feel like if there was an executive from that era who made it till now and was in charge of Top Chef and pushed for that, we would still get that. We would be like, oh, we're competing against this guy. I've eaten at his restaurant. It's horse shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, we need that. I think, in the age of, what's happening to TV, we need some more
divisiveness.
Keep our attention. Love Island.
Division.
Love Island's popping off, so we need Chef Island.
I did
Kitchen Island.
I did, check in on it just to make my statements.
Okay.
We're serious business here.
Okay.
Joe does have a James Beard Award for outstanding restaurateur.
That makes sense, actually.
Live fact check here on the pod.
I believe he also has Michelin stars, right?
He might. I just looked up Joe Bastianich, James Beard.
He's quite accomplished. He's on MasterChef for a reason.
Yeah, we respect.
Well, hold on. Don't go too far.
Sorry.
Don't speak on behalf of all of us.
Only me. Well, while you look that up. But yeah, we can talk a little bit more about Zach Michel since we bridged into the pasta territory. But, obviously they had the most time. They bid probably the smartest because they knew they wanted eggs. They lucked out in that nobody else did, so they got it for free. They also kind of knew how to make pasta right away, had that plan going. I think the only thing was that they got really close to time, and there was definitely some stress with Michelle running the thing through the pasta thing.
It seems stressful
and all that. But it worked out in their favor.
That's more jitters than timing because look, I can't make pasta for shit, but I do feel like on other cooking shows they're like, well, I know I can make a pasta really quick. You know what I mean? It's making the dough you kind of just put the ingredients together. I mean, there's some technique, but it's like you're assembling the ingredients and then rolling it out and then cooking it. You know what I mean?
Sure. And the cooking takes no time at all, which is good. Or 5 minutes they cooked it.
Right.
More research.
Uh-oh.
Yes, he does have Michelin stars, but more importantly, I found out that we can hire Joe Bastianich.
No way.
What does that
to
mean?
be a chef, a celebrity chef at an event of ours.
Oh my god!
So we got to do for Max Fun. The fee range is $20,000 $25,000 to $50,000.
We can raise that.
Okay, yeah. So get on board, everybody.
That can be a
MaximumFun.org/join.
Yeah.
If I don't know what the numbers are. If like 1 million of you join, we can take together a couple months worth of.
A million.
Here.
We'll do a live pod. We'll do a raffle, so some of y'all can come through and eat with us, and then make sure Joe doesn't listen to any of the pod before.
We'll tell him this is for episode 1.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, that would be great. Can't wait. So
I didn't realize that
make sure to sign up.
They on MasterChef they emphasize that he's a restaurateur.
Yeah.
So we always
Am I looking up the right Joe?
That's him.
Okay.
His cooking is always a little.
Face.
They don't emphasize his cooking expertise. It's always like his.
Yeah. Because he's on
this I'd sell that for $37.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I didn't realize that he still cooked that much.
Well, it's so funny because, this is CelebrityChefNetwork.com.
Wow.
And it says Joe Bastianich is a celebrated chef, restaurateur, winemaker, and television personality.
Winemaker? What's his wine brand? Let's get his wine on the show.
Oh.
Known for his discerning palate, sharp business acumen, and expansive influence in the culinary world. Okay. With a career spanning multiple continents, Joe has become one of the most recognizable and respected figures in the global food scene. So I guess
recognizable, even though you're like, is this him? Is that his face that we're looking at right now? Even though I've watched the show. Yeah, it is a weird photo of him. He may need to.
It looks younger.
Okay, yeah.
I guess he started as a chef because also in that photo he's wearing chef's whites. I didn't know that he graduated from chef into like full-time restaurant.
It might, I just maybe for the show they're like you have to play that role.
Yeah, we already have chefs.
Yeah,
we need a restaurateur.
Yeah, okay.
That's your point of view on this show, and then
he has done like one cooking demonstration on all of MasterChef.
Yeah,
but it feels uncharacteristic of his character on the show, which is like guy who wears suit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, and he knew to put in more broth to boil the risotto.
Yeah.
So
okay, all right.
He knows two things.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, fascinating. Now we know way too much about Joe. But moving on from Zach and Michelle, we can talk a little bit about Timothy and Athena. So they're the ones who know no time.
20 minutes. Which is, that's a quick fire challenge on Top Chef.
Yeah.
That's no time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
on Top Chef, if you're given 20 minutes, you're like, I'm doing a cold prepreration. You're getting a crudo. You know what I mean?
Which they kind of did because they did their salad.
Cooked salmon and that was it. Yeah.
They did They cooked the salmon, but they did which I know they were all worked up about this. The judges are like, they should have at least just roasted the peaches.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, I mean, I get it. Sometimes you have salmon with a salsa thing, so. I kind of was like, yeah, sure, it's probably better. I'd rather have fresh peaches than roast the peaches.
It's like. I agree. There's nothing wrong with a raw peach salad. That sounds delightful.
Sure.
But given that the only other thing on the plate was just a cooked piece of salmon, I understand what they're saying, which is like, you're on a cooking competition. You got to give us something.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I think that was the worry with a lot of, maybe that was this was a tough challenge because it was almost like, how elevated do you want us to go?
Right. Yeah.
Given our constraints. And then, that's maybe why Ton and Kate are over here reinventing, sweet potato, whatever. And then
I feel like
they didn't
right
have
before
to.
this episode started filming, they all got a pep talk where they're like, hey, you got to elevate stuff. You can't just serve us mac and cheese. It's got to be fancy. And then everyone kind of freaked out.
Yeah.
Sorry, screen to the mic. But yeah, that was me channeling them choosing sweet potatoes over potatoes.
Oh, no.
But yeah, so Timothy and Athena, it was cute though because like Timothy was like, no, I chose that, and then, Athena was like sticking by him like, it's okay. But then everybody was questioning them along the way.
Yeah.
Like Joe came over and was like, are you sure you don't have any regrets? And they're like, I don't know. I've been like literally sitting here stressed for 35 minutes. Yeah. And then they go back to the judges section and Joe's like, I think Timothy's freaking out right now.
Yeah. It's like, well, you're kind of provoking.
It's like,
it's kind of your fault.
Yeah.
I think he's in his head a little. I don't know why.
It's like, no kidding. I wonder why, because he's standing there not allowed to touch anything for 30 minutes. But at the end of the day for them, like they actually cooked the salmon great, except for Tiffany's, which was funny.
Bummer.
We got to see like Tiffany's whatever that mean judge side. She's like, I didn't know I was eating sushi today.
Yes. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that comment.
We don't get to see that side of her as much.
Yeah,
so that's fun. And then, but they really like the orange glaze. Oh yeah, the salmon had an orange glaze. So at least they had that because they got the fruit basket essentially. But yeah, again, the whole peach thin mint, I guess, salad was not enough. Fair.
I feel we come across this on all the cooking shows sometimes where like if you would have called it this, it would have been okay. And I do wonder, since you said salsa, and I was like, oh, if they would have called it a peach salsa, do you think it would have been?
Oh.
Right. Yeah. But I wonder, they because it was when Joe was asking them before they had started cooking, what are you going to do? And he was like, the salsa? And they're like, oh, no, salad. And so I think they should have just let him be like, oh, salsa.
Yeah.
So whatever that word.
That sounds good, huh? Yeah, that's why we're doing it.
Yeah. So they missed some opportunity there to maybe rebrand. But in the end, theirs was like generally fine. And I think, the big hang up was Tiffany's wasn't good. Maybe it was too simplistic, and then they were up against Hannah and Kate, who just insulted Gordon to like his little boy core.
Simplistic, but for 20 minutes, I'm like, that a Top Chef would have done the same thing. It's like, what do you want in 20 minutes?
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe what they're really criticizing is like you strategized wrong. You shouldn't have given yourself 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But for 20 minutes, I'm like, that's pretty good.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean, I definitely felt the anxiety through the screen. So cooking that precisely. After you've been just like sitting in your own anxiety for 35 minutes, definitely hard to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we kind of went over all the dishes. Just to reiterate, the top dishes were Michelle and Zach. They did the saffron infused fettuccine with fennel and leek cream sauce and sauteed Swiss chard.
I'll say okay, for some of these teams, I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. I think I was I was like, if I were in this position, I would not know what to cook because some of them were a little at like the ingredients they got. I was like, I wouldn't know how to incorporate that.
Right.
So like with Zach and Michelle, they were like, we got eggs, let's make a pasta. And then they got the leafy greens box. And I was like, not a lot of leafy green pastas out there.
Sure.
How are you going to do that? And they like put the leeks in and then they had the Swiss chard on top. I'm like, that's smart.
Yeah.
But
I was like, if I were in that position, I would not know what to do.
Yeah.
What other leafy green pastas are there? There's like a kale pasta, which we just talked about, but like, that's kind of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they should have waited to bid on because the thing is, because they didn't spend anything on the eggs, they then jumped in and bid on the leafy greens, but then they wanted at 15 minutes. So maybe they thought, maybe somebody will bid over this for that, but they probably should have waited for like peppers and tomatoes.
Yeah. That's what I would have thought.
Yeah.
That's what I would have thought.
Which was third.
My only thing against that is that I think if you're going into a cooking competition, you're like, I'm going to make a tomatoey pasta. You want time to develop that flavor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
so no matter what, like even if you cook it for 55 minutes, they're like, this just doesn't really taste that good.
Yeah.
There are better tomato pastas out there.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, and that would be such a shoe-in for this should be delicious. I can compare it to so many things.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So they got the charred pasta instead. Yeah, but then they did do that saffron infused and everybody
was
thought
smart.
That was really well done.
Love that.
So
great
for them.
A+.
That was in their little spices pantry items basket. So that was them. They were on top next to Rachel and Julio, who did the crispy the whole thing. Yeah, crispy skin chicken thigh with tomato risotto, confit tomatoes, and Mexican red sauce.
What was that Mexican red sauce? They didn't like that, and I couldn't tell what it was supposed to be.
Honestly, nobody really. Oh yeah, Joe just said it would be better without the sauce, but I didn't really get much of what that was or why he didn't think it would be best with it.
I was wondering why they were so unspecific. Just saying Mexican red sauce, I'm like, you've said other cultural words on this show before. Just tell me what it is.
Maybe that's what they called it. They're like, it doesn't have a name.
Yeah. It's like, listen, we
just put red things in a pot.
Yeah, I just always called it Mexican red sauce.
Right. That's obviously what it is. And then Tiffany had said the skin could have been crispier because it was billed as crispy skin chicken thighs, which I do feel like is always a risk if you're crispy. It's like, ooh, can't wait for that crisp. But
I appreciate they deboned it.
Yeah, he had to go in there.
Julio really butchered the shit out of that chicken. Great job.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
Tough to do. So the big question mark was the risotto, and of course they ended up nailing that. So we knew they were a strong team. They ended up on top. So nobody wins in this one, similar to how we did the pressure test last time. Yeah. But because they're both on top, they both get half a point each.
Okay.
So that's Michelle and Zach, Rachel and Julio, and they're also safe. So they go up to the balcony.
Yeah.
Then on the bottom was, of course, our other two, Tana and Kate. Theirs was the shepherd's pie with lamb mince and scalloped sweet potato.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they called it. Of course, we know this was bad. Gordon kept calling it weird too. He was like, "It's just weird. It's just weird."
Yeah.
That's an adjective he is not afraid to use, and I really appreciate that because
funny.
Not like in a restaurant, because that stuff has been like R&D'd to death, but like on a cooking competition show, sometimes you're like, that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I think that Chopped built their whole brand on this. You know what I mean?
I see.
There's
with the strange ingredients.
Has this same video popped into your timelines this week? I got a video on Instagram. It's a sketch that's like these two guys made. And they're like, this is what the judging on Chopped is like. And they're like, the sandwich is really good. What I'm not tasting is the ice cream. You know what I mean?
I have not.
Because Chopped is, it's like, here's a bunch of left field ingredients. You got to make it work.
Where are the M&Ms?
And it doesn't necessarily make it good. They're just like, how well did you incorporate all these weird fucking ingredients?
Right. No, that's great. Yeah, it is always funny. Like, I haven't seen much Chopped, but occasionally it's on when I'm in like the waiting room of
it's always where
like
it is.
a mechanic or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was like they roll out like the big glass jar of like M&Ms or something.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's
gummy
background
bears.
TV.
Love it.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. But yes, so definitely weird. It was a million miles away from shepherd's pie. Everybody just was like, why didn't you do regular potatoes? Obviously. Very funny. I just knew that, they had to, then of course the other one is on the bottom, Timothy and Athena with, we just talked about, but crispy skinned salmon with orange glaze and peach herb salad. But I feel like they had to play up Timothy and Athena's flaws in order to be like, oh, who's going to go home? But honestly, it was obviously the shepherd's pie.
Because like, look, against anyone else, if you're like, oh shit, 1 out of the 3 judges got an undercooked protein, that would send you home.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Right.
And you're like, and there isn't that much on the plate. There's like this little scoop of raw salad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's not a great performance objectively, but you put it up against
something that insulted Gordon's whole childhood.
He like is, he's glad.
It's the opposite of Ratatouille.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for,
Wow.
that is true. Basically, it's like the reverse.
You don't zoom in, you zoom out.
Yeah, you zoom out, and you forget your whole childhood.
You think about your tough adulthood.
And you see your own death. So yeah, that was rough.
They didn't even have, when they were like, why didn't you make regular potatoes? They didn't even really have an answer. I think that's the other thing is like, we didn't see them conceptualize, let's do these weird sweet potatoes.
No,
and they also didn't really own up to it in a way where we're like, well, we thought it would be cool or whatever. They were just like, I don't know.
I think it makes me feel like your theory is correct, that they're like, you need to elevate, because I think the like basic cooking thought, like when you just start cooking, when you're doing things just like sweet potato, fancier than regular potato.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That's exactly right. If we just swap in everything one notch higher, it'll be elevated.
It's got to be better. Yeah.
Yeah. So theirs was pretty rough. And they kind of knew, I feel like they were setting up that they might be going home, but they had a good time and they really, they did their best and they were probably tired, honestly. From losing.
I'm also remembering something that I guess must have happened in previous episodes that I didn't notice, which is that, God, I can't remember which one's which, doesn't call her mom. She calls her Kate or Tana or whatever her name is.
She does call her Tana, like in the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
I feel I feel like it is normal to call your step parent by their name depending on your circumstance. That's not the weird thing. The weird thing is that their whole narrative is like, this is my mom. Do you know what I mean?
No, I saw that too. That's so funny. I did notice that as well, and I was wondering. But I think, I guess like that whole thing was like, we kind of shy away from that title. So maybe she's like, it's my mom, but I still call her Tana.
Sure.
But then also, given the circumstances, I think they met, and like they made the cake together, and that was like a big bonding moment. But I think by that point, Kate was like 8 or 9 or something. It was like her birthday.
You're right. Yeah.
So that's pretty
significantly old.
The big question is her OG mom still alive?
No,
passed away. Yeah, so you kind of wonder too. Normally in that circumstance, you're like,
my mom is my mom.
Right.
Who I'm.
And then so then it's like, so back to that episode where they were talking about that. I'm like, if you do watch it, and I don't mean to get into this because it's like
families
it's obviously
are different.
I know nothing about their family, but I would say like Tana was driving the narrative of like, we do not use that term, and it's like I feel like that should probably come from the daughter, but then at the same time, it's not like Kate was like protesting or anything. It was just like,
yeah.
oh, okay, that's interesting. And then it's like, but yeah, maybe she still calls her Tana, because I guess I would expect
Tana's
that.
like, I will never be your mom.
Please do not. It freaks me out.
Yeah, how dare you? I'm your sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, so so she calls her Tana, but she's her mom and whatever. But she also has a mom. All good.
It's okay.
We figured it out. Anyway, they did say at the end, you guys are the representation that the real moms don't
Beautiful
necessarily
parting
biologically.
Yes.
Yeah, whatever. So that was great. They got that. They were bummed, but I think they kind of saw it coming. And they go home, and it's good.
And goodbye.
Yeah.
And goodbye forever. But we're happy for them, and they can go make as much bison as
they
their
can
heart
go
desires.
continue. What was it they do? Bodybuilding, gymnastics, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
There was like one.
physical.
Yeah. One quick glimpse at like their introductory package in one of the first few episodes is they're like, yeah, we do everything together. We even compete against each other sometimes. And there was a shot of them like in, I want to say like leotards or something.
Okay, I can see that.
They
did look like strong.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
but
can
they
see
didn't.
that.
It's another weird thing with the edit where I'm like, get more specific.
Yeah.
Like,
No. How dare you
It
ask?
would make for a better narrative. They were like, yeah, we're both cheerleaders,
Yeah.
or like
we do this
yeah.
thing you can really
But they
picture.
kind of just showed them like in a generic gym, And I was like, I guess you do something together.
I feel like my guess is they do something, but then they like weren't allowed to get filming rights on like wherever they were. So they're like, why don't we just go to this gym and like it's also athletic.
Yeah.
Or like Fox was like, no, we can't let Zumba get.
Yes,
free,
exactly.
Free.
Oh,
They can't
right,
get,
right.
they can't
We
get
couldn't
any
clear
free,
Zumba. Yeah.
Right.
Can't get any free
That's a
advertising from
brand.
Fox.
So generic. They can go back to their generic competition and their generic relationship, whatever's going on there. And we love it, with Kevin and Trey, just like kind of a black box. Of
Oh my God, I
what's
forgot
going
about
on.
Kevin and Trey.
Yeah.
Why haven't any Potter pans written in about Kevin and Trey?
Somebody's got to be related.
Someone's
got to
know. I gotta know.
So yes, we love it. But anyway, that's the end of that. Pressure test is sealed. Tana and Kate, they lost, and everybody can go back to normal competition next week.
Great.
Next week is macarons.
Oh yeah, that's
French
right.
macaroon.
Yes.
Macaroons. Some people say macaroons, but it's macarons.
Macarons, because technically a macaroon is something else.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So
But
apparently
it gets confusing. It's like saying truffle. You know what I mean? It's like, well, that does refer to like a confection.
Oh yeah, but it's also
the
like
a mushroom.
Yeah, too many similar names. Also, the president's name is Macron.
That's
So
right.
you're just like,
Looking through
it's a lot of consistency.
What are you looking
Big
for?
Kev's social media. He hasn't posted.
You found
anything.
him?
Yeah.
He
Big
just posted-
Chef Big Kev.
Oh, wow.
And all he did was post
the trailer like 19 times.
But like also, holy shit, he posted it so many times.
Yeah, if he is just swiping through like
It is
only
just
MasterChef trailers.
But
on
like
his-
no pics of Trey. Well, I'm looking for Trey.
Oh, no.
Yeah, if you go far back, you don't find them like hanging
Not
out.
even far back. Like
Yeah,
literally
they just
right
met
before
on
the
set.
trailers.
nothing.
They met
Yeah.
on
Nothing.
set.
Let me see if he's following Trey.
Oh yeah, what if they're not? That would be great.
My best friend who I'm not following.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Doesn't even know his handle. Couldn't even tell you how to spell it. But macarons.
Right.
Apparently
yes.
it's the toughest dessert in the world. I did try to make them once with my sister.
How'd that go?
She bought like one of those molds. It was hard.
Oh.
And she even has a mixer, like an automatic mixer, which you need to have because you can't really do it by hand without dying. And it's really it was just a labor, like a tough labor, and then you only get one flavor, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it was good, but like ultimately it was like that was a lot of work, a lot of egg whites, a lot of mixing,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get one flavor, like especially compared to just walking into a store and being like,
Right.
I'll get that one,
Yeah,
that one,
yeah.
and that one, and it's like $15.
It's the
or whatever.
epitome of like I feel like sometimes the argument against eating out is like, well, I can make that at home. It's like you can't make those
Right,
at home.
right. Especially if you want like Earl Grey and
Right,
rose
yeah.
flavored. So yeah, I agree that it's a tough dessert.
Are you laughing because you
what's
found
the-
Trey?
I found Trey.
Verdict.
No, not one single picture with him before or after. But then he goes, once upon a time in MasterChef Kitchen, I had the chance to cook alongside one of my best friends.
Oh my God.
Chef Big. I'm like, really? Because he's nowhere.
Yeah.
He's nowhere in this. I'm scrolling and I don't see anyone.
This is real detective work.
Interesting.
This is
interesting. Yeah, we should
this
have
is
done
a
this a long
legit
time ago.
beat in like a crime series where someone's like, they say they were boyfriend and girlfriend, but do you see any photos in either of their
no,
bedrooms?
No, yeah, like Trey is Kevin's alibi, and you're like,
exactly.
Are you sure they were actually friends before?
He even did a podcast about his MasterChef run, but he did it by himself.
Oh, I gotta listen to that podcast.
Yeah, this one's from #bourbon.
Okay.
Turns out there's a few Renaissance men floating around. They tell us the best meal he had so far this year, what he drinks, and when he's not drinking American whiskey, his best home cooking tip, and his prediction for the Pinhook Bourbon 10-year vertical bourbon. Yeah, like
the name of the podcast is #bourbon. Why are we plugging a different podcast on our podcast?
Yeah,
get out of here. There's only one podcast in this town. But fascinating. Okay, so our suspicions may be true that they...
they're undeniably true. I never had any doubt in my own...
Trey in his bio has MasterChef on Fox season 15 top 12.
That's an accomplishment.
I mean, it is. Yeah, he did make it past auditions.
Yeah. But like,
no, yeah.
Top 12, number 12.
If you, I know. Like, if you looking at this, you're like, oh, he made it pretty far.
This is how I feel. Look, let's just talk about straight up fantasy sports for a second. I feel this way sometimes just watching football. They make up statistics on the spot. They're like, this running back has the most yards in a third quarter in an away game. I'm like, this is not a statistic.
Right.
No, it gets even crazier, especially basketball too, where it's like his like grind time points. It's like, what do you mean? His clutch scoring moments. I'm like, that's not a trackable stat.
Right. If you only pick the minutes in which he scores, he scored the most in those minutes.
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, you got to do what you can. It's all publicity these days. You know, we're all just our own PR machines, and we have to figure out what works for us.
Yeah. Most 3-pointers made 4 minutes and 20 seconds in.
Hey, 420 man.
I've got the most jokes per 30-minute podcast from before 2019.
Every time I hear a stand-up talk about laughs per minute, I'm like,
oh God. LPM?
I was like, it's like,
what's your LPM, bro?
Because I'm like, laughs per minute. If you're talking like laughs per minute, I'm like, then you truly, to capitalize means you're telling a joke per minute, which means you're not doing any storytelling, which means you're not like laying any ground.
That's just one-liners.
And then it's like, what are these laughs? You know, is it like light chuckles? You can't get a hearty laugh in 3 of those.
If you're going highest LPM, it's got to be like Gallagher, another physical comedian who's just like hitting watermelons, because it's like you can hit 1,000 watermelons in an hour and
just
get
a big reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
hey, speaking of laughs for a minute, have you guys seen the new Naked Gun?
No, should we?
That sounded like I was doing like sponsor content.
Right.
This is legitimately just like I fucking love the new Naked Gun. It's really funny.
And it's got a lot of laughs per minute.
Yeah. I'm not getting paid I want to reiterate, I'm not getting paid a dime.
I've been
that's great.
A lot of good things about the new Naked Gun.
It is legitimately so fucking funny.
Amazing.
So on the opposite scale, I was at doing a show while I was in Indianapolis for Gen Con, and they had Happy Gilmore playing on the screen.
The original or the new sequel?
The new one.
Okay,
and it's so bright. Like, it's so oddly bright that I was, I don't know if this was a TV setting, but then after another, Big Daddy was playing and it looked normal. So
interesting.
So I don't know how funny it is, but I just know it was too bright. I saw Bad Bunny in it.
Oh, interesting.
Yes,
he's like, I'm like, this seems like this is either gonna be.
You know
funny.
what? I'll devil's advocate. I appreciate a bright movie, because I do think we had about 15 years of movies being way too fucking dark.
Yeah,
wait till you
so
see
dark.
I
will say
it'll hurt my eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes bright. I mean, you know, comedy. You're like, some color would be nice. You think about, a little bit of some like multicam kind of brightness aspect, But yes, I agree. I was rewatching a little Game of Thrones, and the Long Night episode where they're just in the darkness fighting the dead guys the whole time.
Sure.
I'm full brightness. Can't see a thing.
That's the thing. It's like
can't see a thing. Which is, I guess, great for the scary effects, but I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
If it's to the point where I don't know what's happening, then you're beyond like artistic license.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like.
At
the end of the day, I'm still watching a visual medium, and if I've lost the visuals, then I'm not participating in this art anymore. You know what I mean?
Right. Need some orange.
It's my little soapbox.
Need some orange. Need some blue.
So what I'm saying is, put Happy Gilmore 2 into my eyeballs. I want to see it.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to watch it. Well, gotta watch those comedies. You know,
you gotta support comedies.
Watch those comedies.
Let's see what's out there.
See what's out there. All right, so let's get to this points breakdown. Low, not that many points scored this time because
Sure.
not that many people.
Only 4 teams.
Pressure test.
Yeah.
So really, it's just the half a point each for Zach and Michelle and Rachel and Julio for being on top.
Nice.
That's it. So this week, Mike, 0 points.
Sure.
We kind of saw that coming.
Safe on the balcony. I'm okay with that.
Balcony. Plenty of points to be scored next week, I'm sure. And both me and Iffy, we get half a point because we have one of each of those guys.
Okay.
So that puts our totals at, I have 6.5 points.
Okay.
Mike, you're at 10.5 points.
Comfortable.
And Iffy, you're at 13.5 points.
Wow. Bravo.
You're close, though.
I'm closing in.
Pretty exciting.
So you're really bringing up the rear, though.
Yeah, not great for me. And surprisingly, this is the first time we're going to have a punishment.
That's right.
So it was just lucky me,
Start
first
preparing
time.
that
Normally
shepherd's
I'm
dip.
winning.
Yeah, shepherd's dip, baby.
Gross. Yeah. Can't wait to dip in that shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
So, get excited, guys. We have another great episode next week. Macarons.
Macaron.
Macarons.
Garçon.
Ooh,
Macaron.
French iffy. You're like all over the map. It's going to be great. Okay,
all right, now it's getting offensive.
Okay.
Now it's getting racist toward the French people.
All right. On that note, if you like this podcast, share it with someone, please. Also, go to MaximumFun.org/join so we can hire Joe Bastianich.
We want Joe to cook for us for $50,000.
Just a million of you. So you can support us there, MaximumFun.org/join for as little as $5 a month. It really helps us out. It keeps us going. We really appreciate everyone who's doing it already. And, tell your friends. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, as you know, we read our Instagram DMs at TV Chef Fantasy League. I checked it this week. Nobody wrote in. But obviously, we had Lauren write in at chef@MaximumFun.org. We do check our email. So let us know. Let us know if you have been to that wonderful Italian restaurant in Minneapolis.
Bar
La Grassa.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know how great Minneapolis is. If you're doing your own MasterChef Fantasy League with friends, please tag us. Tell us how you're doing. For full unedited episodes, you can check us out on YouTube. Thanks again to my co-hosts Mike Cabalon and Iffy Wadiwe. We will be back next week. TV Chef Fantasy League is a Maximum Fun production. Our producer is Valerie Moffat. Our engineer is Gabe Mara. Our theme song is by Dylan Van Auken. Our artwork is by Sabrina Volante. Follow us on Instagram and YouTube at TV Chef Fantasy League.